First apologies. Was helping mom throughout the intro as well as just now when I first. Thank you for the raid. I appreciate it. Sorry, everyone. Or my actual personal. Stuff that's going on with me. Nothing to do with anybody else. Despite what bitching has been happening. I will not be in VC for some time, probably. Most likely, it's mostly my personal and stress, not from drama. I'm personally tired of it, but it's not anything to do with me. And I don't really want to be in the middle of it. I have enough issues. So I'm sorry, personally, for anyone who hears me complain. Silver lining, I got my cable. The audio you're hearing is from my DS. But now you're hearing the Japanese audio. On top of this fucker, even though I could easily stop considering I got it. One, being at 10,000, which is well over odds now. I might really this is pretty much all I'm doing this in Emerald. I really don't need to play the Japanese end aside from. I wanted to feel more authentic, even though I got it on my English copy. This is a Japanese one. That's the only reason why I picked that copy up. Same with the Japanese Ruby that I needed for Celebi. Point in stopping now. Eventually, yes. I'm working on that. No, no. On Emerald 1. No, not an Emerald at all. Sapphire. I'm only doing one game per generation, even though I will be doing Fire Red or whichever Fire Red or Leaf Green that I play, which I do need to play to beat Sapphire to begin with, because I need a lot of the Gen 1 Pokemon. I will be completing that game as well. So no, I'm doing one game per actual gen. Remakes, one of the remakes included. And since I have to play all the games anyway to complete most of them anyway, no, I'm not doing the same games from that gen. So I'm not doing 2 Hoenn games, if that makes sense. Because I had to play Sapphire as my main line anyway. I had to play through Ruby to get Groudon and whatever else, extra copies of some of the legendaries there for Fire Red and Leaf Green, like the Reggies and stuff like that. I had to play Gala Darkness, or Pokemon Coliseum Gala Darkness, which has legendary birds, the legendary beasts, and a plethora of other Pokemon that I can't get otherwise. They have Ho-Oh and Lugia, which are only event-based in these games. So for some reason, I cannot find Lugia and Ho-Oh's actual events for these games, so that's the only way I can get them. And then I had to play Emerald for Ditto, who I need to breed with. And then for one, Fire Red and Leaf Green, I won't be able to trade until I beat the post-game. In the post-game, you go to these 7 islands. Eventually, it all leads to Team Rocket and Mewtwo. Yes, they gave Mewtwo a bigger post-game. You have to do more to get through eventually to him, but you have to find these gemstones, the Ruby and Sapphire gemstones, to trade from Fire Red and Leaf Green to Ruby and Sapphire. So it's going to be a long process. Without Gale, no. Not that I'm aware of. Coliseum or Gale, no. I'm sure you can get Lugia and Ho-Oh, but I can't find that event. And then there's, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. Because a lot of Gen 2 and some 1 Pokemon are in that. But there's also, like, the starters in Gen 1, the remakes of Gen 1 that I need, and Mewtwo, stuff like that aren't in any of those games. So I do need to play through all of these games. But I'm not exactly sure how fully... The only Pokemon I really needed out of Gale of Darkness, or Coliseum specifically, I don't know off the top of my head that I can't get anywhere else, is Celebi and Jirachi. Because Jirachi is the American event for Coliseum, and Celebi is the Japanese one, which I did both. I cannot get them anywhere else from my knowledge, unless I trade up through Pokebank, because I have the Crystal eShop version, which contains Celebi. Which I don't have enough of them to do that, because I'm keeping them on that game for now. Once I'm done with everything, then I plan to move everything up to home. Because I have Pokebank, and I never erased it, so I can still use it. Can you get Lugia and Ho-Oh and Silver and Gold? Yes, I can, but they can't... Gen 2 cannot go to Gen 3. At all. And first off, it's 2 different hardwares at this point. I'm Gold and Silver... When I played Gen 1 and Gen 2, I played it off the 3DS eShop versions. Gen 1 and 2 were never compatible with Gen 3 because of the Game Boy Advance, and Game Boys are not compatible because of vastly different hardware. Which is why they remade both Gen 1 and Gen 2. Gen 3 can go to Gen 4 through migration, which is a mechanic that cannot go backwards. Gen 1 and 2 can only trade between one another. So Lugia and Ho-Oh can only be obtained either through an event or Gale of Darkness or Coliseum. Same with the beasts. They are obtainable in Calo. The legendary beasts are in Coliseum. And then in Gale of Darkness you have the legendary birds. Because Gen 3 does have the beasts, but they're roaming. And 1 only, depending on your starter. Yeah, fuck that. I already have to beat those games twice. I'm not putting in all this extra. Yes, Gen 3 is fucking stupid. And I've never fully finished Gen 3. This will be my first time. Just like with Gen 2, I've never fully completed until on stream. Gen 1 I've beaten multiple times. I've mentioned I've beaten through both Gen 4 games. Diamond and Pearl, or at least one of them. And then I've Heart Gold, and then Black 2, I believe. I'm not sure if I know I didn't finish White, but I think Black 2 is the one that gives you the Haxors, the shiny Haxors. There's a shiny Pokemon that you get for completing the dex, or at least being, or whatever it is. I got that, and then I completed X and Y, and then Oris, which are Gen 6 games. Gen 7 on, I haven't. Gen 3 and Gen 7 on. Need work. That's about it. I mean, technically, I haven't beaten the full remake of Fire Red and Leaf Green either in terms of Pokedex, but I still beat Gen 1. I do have quite a bit of Pokemon ready on Sapphire for completing a good portion of it. I just need to really... And everything else is already traded from Gale of Darkness and Coliseum. All the stuff over on those games are all on Sapphire. That's been done a while ago. I just need to breed everything. Ditto is on my English copy. I can't trade because my cable is somewhere in my garage, and I bought another one. Because you can't use a normal Game Boy Color or Game Boy Link. So I have to wait for that to come in. But we got my PS thing. Now I can... Because I did have the audio jack somewhere cable for this, but I just don't know where that is either. I'm bad with hacking and remembering what I did with it, where it all is. So much to look through. And I'm glad I actually managed. I pulled some of my stuff out. I found my Switch 2 dock, but that decided not to work on me. I gotta figure that out. I found my PS5 hard drive. Hopefully, I don't know why that wasn't me the whole time anyway. But yeah, hopefully that still works. Everything right now. I think so. I don't know how you would do that with a cry. But, How about it? I don't know. I would assume no, because it's the cry. The cries are the same. Like, Muse is the same. There's, I don't know, that's just a sound. I really don't know. I wouldn't put it past them for doing things like that, but I don't think so. Muse is the same. I would assume no. Or yes. But yes, that's the same. No, they are different. There's a lot of... Japan has different events and better stuff than we do. I don't think there's really any difference mechanics or gameplay or whatever wise. No. Sounds the same to me. Not that I really ever use Mighty or Poochyena, but no. Not that I'm aware of. To be honest, I wouldn't put it past them, though. For having changed things or what have you. Beat Japanese version without looking at it. Ah. Double days. I don't even remember how much I even did in this one. I don't remember where this one was. Because when I played through my Ruby Japanese file, it was at Groudon. And I beat that. Probably in less than a day. And that's already a Groudon though. Still, like, I beat the rest of that. This, I would say, if it was from the beginning, it would take me... I almost had to. On Colosseum. Because that's a game I haven't played in... My stream was like the first time playing that since I was in high school. So if I would have had fun playing that in Japanese. Because I had to play it twice. I had to play it in English normally because I needed a file for Jirachi. And then my Wii is jailbroken. I was trying to figure out how to get a save file working, and I didn't at first until I figured out that I needed to convert one of my virtual memory cards, because I thought it was already done. I had to convert a virtual memory card for my GameCube, which I had a physical copy. And I was trying to do it all off GameCube, and it wasn't working. Long story. Either way, I had to get a virtual... Trying to be authentic as possible. So I have a Japanese GameCube. Celebi disc is a physical copy. $200. I have a Japanese Colosseum and a Japanese memory card, and a Japanese Ruby and a Japanese Emerald. Emerald is not... Long story short, Emerald does not work with Colosseum and Gale of Darkness or whatever, because that came out sometime after, and there's... So, a lot of it is Sapphire and Ruby only, generally speaking. Same with trading between Fire and Leaf Green, really going to be predominantly. Emerald really doesn't have a lot of factor because it wasn't really... Either way, I would join. I'm not in the mood. Well, I can't say I'm not in the mood. I'm relaxed. I just don't feel like being in voice chat because of personal life, stress. I'm here for you, Wolf, if you ever need anything. Because I needed the Japanese Celebi. Remember? He's a Japanese event. For Colosseum only. You get Jirachi. But I almost had to play Colosseum again in Japanese because I couldn't figure out how to get the file working. I ended up getting a save file downloaded and completed just because I beat mine. And then, yeah, was able to get Celebi. But I'm always here for you, Wolf. If you just want to text chat, though, you can hang here. But if you ever need to talk personally, I'm down for it in direct messages. a lot's going on, and stress from this last year has been. I really don't want to break further, and I'm also not. One, I'm tired of always bitching at Twitch in general, like the chat or whoever I'm fighting with or start drama with because of my anxiety, sensitivity, among other things. I clearly need help for it. Don't want my own acceptance problem. And because people have hurt me, I don't feel like talking to some random stranger who does it for a living because it's an obligation. And I have a hard enough time. To be fair, Twitch is my escape. The creature of 15 is... Yeah. Getting into a fight, I'm sorry to hear that. To be honest, getting into hearing people constantly bicker at each other. Not throwing any names, and I'm not trying to start any more future drama, but it's just resolve it. I would like that, but life also just doesn't. Tired of butting heads with people that I do. I'm tired of trying to be nice to people and then me getting hurt or other people getting pissed at each other. The shit with supply, like that kind of crap. I'm just like, I'm trying to just be nice and trust people and be cool with people. And it even happened to me at work. Try to be nice. Definitely odd, definitely awkward, and I don't really work that well with other people due to my introverted nature. Look, I've been judged a lot for things that's hard for me to want to even. Why I even try to talk here. While there is people who probably have their thoughts, I don't. A lot of I'm not that as close to people as I am family or personal friends who have hurt me in the past or things. So it's even though at times I don't. I get sensitive. How I always have. I have. I'm aware of my. I've long been aware of my issue. It's because of that opening up that I don't want to talk to a stranger of it. Oh, a shrink, rather. You guys are technically strangers at one point. I don't, know you that well. I know you enough friends here. Family in my community. A lot of you are the closest. Keep everyone. The last person I really tried to be nice to people didn't get along with him. I mean, I had my issues with him because he got annoying at times. It was more than annoyance. The dude bitched at everything. Like a child. However, I'm way too nice. He fucked me over. Not that. Not only did he ask me for money, he fucking did it to others, and then he shat on people, including myself, as well as the girl he was talking to, fucking hitting on other women and shitting on old mods that no longer talk to me, to Dragon, to whatever. And he was one of my longest. Not longest. Near. I'm not like depressed over it, but it's just it happened. Just more people I freaking let get to, and I shouldn't. Out of trust, being nice, being myself. I've always been taught to treat people how you want to be treated. While yes, I get very bitchy, but it's only because of growing up that that's the result of it happened. I have enough time to bitch. I have enough time to sit there and realize I have a good time. Go ahead and direct message him, because I don't know how much he really is going to want to deal with Twitch and stuff like that. I'm sure he's probably watching and supporting me in the background. And I'm sure he would definitely give you some talk, but VC-wise, I don't expect her. I don't plan on being here. But he's not going to be talking. So go ahead and try to give him a direct message, see if he'll... Or if not, maybe on some other social media. I don't know. He's not really the best with Discord, and I don't know if he'll... But if he's here and hears us, hears me and you, no. Yes. Yeah, he heard. He already left Discord, though. Yes, he's here, though. You can message me. Yeah, message him on Twitch, then, if he's in chat. I don't know how else you would contact him. He doesn't really want to be involved too much into this. Totally understand. And I don't really want to be the middleman anymore. Sorry, you're an asshole. Hey, y'all can... Rather than... Actually, if I didn't try to make friends, I wouldn't be having to deal with it all. Not that I'm trying to make friends. I wasn't nice to them. I'm really not out there looking for more friends. I'm more here to just have fun, meet a community that's try to help them grow personally over me. I don't really care if my goal was to essentially have fun. Turned into me wanting to help people. Not that I'm fucking huge or anything and know anything about freaking Twitch. There's a lot of people who, everyone else pretty much knows Twitch is meta than I do. I'm very basic, more than you all know. Well, if you ever need to talk to me, want to message me, feel free to. Don't bottle up anything. You don't have to. Says the guy who does it all the time. But even I have my open. Just try not to unload. Counter. On the other screen. Oh, puppy dog, why are you barking? Oh. Oh. No. Sounds like he's barking at someone outside type of bark. Either that or he's just woofing. He has different types of barks for people or whatever. He'll do like, oh, if he sees another dog or another person close, he'll get really, really loud. And then if he just whatever he may see, sometimes he'll just woof. And then if he's wanting food or bathroom, he usually will be at the window and I'll hear my mom crying because we're close in rooms now. Before it was like upstairs and I was upstairs. I just went down occasionally, and I never really had to hear him. I would just go down and take him out every now and then. Now I can hear it generally. That and my mom was strong enough back then to actually take him out. Or my brothers, either way. And then he'll whine or cry if he wants food or whatever the fuck else. Sometimes I can't even tell what he wants, and it just gets annoying. Or he just wants heavy attention. Right now, it looks like buffing at nothing. Not anymore, he's done doing it. I don't know. My dog is... But he should be okay because he's technically in the next, basically our guest room. Over across the hall from my room. Meaning he tries to be close to me without being in my room. I think. Because there's windows in that room that allows him to look out front of the house too. So he gets a view of the front because he likes to look out and bark at people and their dogs and stuff. So whenever like a male guy comes by, you can see them, or whenever someone's doing lawns or yard work, if they were, or shoveling during the time, or whatever it would be, he would bark. God damn it. That's a first? Oh no, I know what you. Lumia is a different. That's a different thing, source. That's my program that froze. Because those are all different sources. Yeah, that was my DS program that froze. My capture card program. Thank you. My camera froze up earlier on me when I was setting up. Yeah, isn't oh, chocolate chips sub. Thought I saw that. If you guys don't, if I clearly have a hard time because I'm not really looking at that because it's my screen is halved. If someone new gifts or if you gift at all and the new name is not fully aligned with my layout, let me know because I'm not gonna actually be able to tell sometimes because I'm not actively looking there and it's smaller for me because I have my screens split in half on my laptop. One for OBS and one for Discord or Twitch. So sometimes I don't notice. There's times where I've gone weeks with the layout not, like the names not fully lined up into the bar. And I've noticed it only because of setup or whatever. But this is what I mean. You can kind of tell. My screen, that's OBS, that's Twitch. That's my other screen, so it's split. It's hard to tell. Or anyone for that matter, not just you. Anyone who notices. Since you are the most active, though, with donations. Thank you again for the... oh, on my actual screen, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm not really too great with a lot of what I can do with green screen. I'm sure I can put backgrounds and stuff behind me, but like... I have an entire big green screen right there. It's even doubles as a blue screen. The back side is blue, so I can do other... Get your face green and blend in. Wear a green shirt and be nothing. Webcam's there, but you can't see me. No, all you'll see is just a fuzzy-ass outline. Well, that I can do too. If I wear green face paint and a green shirt, you would probably just see me sparkling here and there, literally, because the green screen and the light tends to break. You may see, like, at certain times, like, when the load screen happens and it's a dark screen, you may see the green screen break here and there. I even noticed it already every time I go in and out of a load screen or in and out of the... whatever. Like right now. You can see it fuzzy back behind me. green screen's already breaking immersion. I'm not inside your laptops and phones. Oh no. I have to be I have to crop that, aren't I? I swear I'm not in your phone. Now I am. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know if my light's just not bright enough. My Elgato light's very bright. I got used to it, but it tends to... sometimes it's just... after a while. Or even at times when I first wake up in the morning and I put it on and I'm like, ow. I could turn it down, but it would be worse. Like, the effect would be... Again, the green screen... And I don't have any other light. I do... well, not anymore. I did have, like, one of those whole lamp lights. Or whatever you want to call them. But it was not bright enough, and it was behind the green screen, because there's really no comfortable way to have it right here. Because here I have outlets used, and I would have a lamp right up on my knees. Right here, I'd be bonking it all the time. So I found I put my Elgato light up. But I guess it's not bright enough to keep the green screen from breaking when any black screen effect happens. That I'm taking over the green screen. Paint the walls green. Oh, fuck are you talking about? No, I got white. Beige. Not beige, but it's fully white. I know you're messing around. I'm just saying what the fuck. Would be nice. A blue room again. I live back home. Yay, my walls are light brown beige-ish, whatever. Either way, it's just the way I describe colors. This is a white hood, but it's darker than just plain white. It's like the tannish color, I guess. And my old room. Medium blue? It was like your name's color. Blue. Maybe a little darker shade than that. Considering it's paint and that. Imagine all 6 faces green. Faces do I have? What do you mean, all 6 faces? I don't want to have faces, green faces in my room. Could have just said that instead. Or just say, imagine having all face on every wall. No. always been my favorite color for a longer period. Well, I do love green. Darker, I mean, light, darker. Not too dark, not too light. Too light. If it's got like, and there's like the shitty coat, brownie, like the raspberry. Blue I like generally most blue, dominantly darker. To me, it just doesn't make colors for a lot of holes. Who are you calling us up? Oh. Technically, I ran first? Back here? Well, yes, it did flee, but I technically fleed first. And then I fleed and left the area and came back in, so technically we both left. But yes. I fleed first. You like Darkrai? He's a badass Pokemon. Wrong generation. Also, that emote makes his freaking mouth look really weird. That's face and jaw. Pokken tournament sprites or models. Emotes. That's what that game sucks. Pokemon fighting game. Not good. I don't remember Darkrai being in that. See, that's... Oh, they were aware of Pokemon. Yeah. Aksu. Yep, that's definitely Pokemon Tournament. Pikachu lead. Then the Shadow Mewtwo they have in that game. Dark Mewtwo. Equivalent of Shadow Lugia. Darker black Mewtwo. Yes, Bo. Told you he likes being next to me or in the other room. The moment I got up, he followed me, and then he went and started crying when I was on first. Okay. Hey, Bubba. It's okay, Bo. Go in the other room, little one. And you're back. Hi. What do you want? Little one. You need to sit underneath my desk. Not very fun, but want to be near me. Just don't shit in my room. Or chew on anything. Like cables or there. If I don't like you nearby, shit. If I don't want to eat. He's been on camera. No, I mean, he really doesn't know what that is. Generally speaking. Care of it. Tends to get startled by the camera. The first one I... Not in the pickup center. It's very mean. Like the other day when the other week when I was talking about how he bit me in the knuckle. I don't know if you're mentioning, but I ended up trying to pick him up because he clearly wanted to be up by my mom on the bed, which is all herbs, which is higher up for him. He can make it. He has. It's just very barely, and he tends to be very skittish. And he clearly wanted to, but no, he ended up doing this very mean multi-bite on me, like 2 or 3 bites, and got me good with one of them right on the fucking. Didn't break skin, but it hurt like fucking hell and hit bone bad, and it numbed up my hand. For a little dog, that was. I'm thin, but he's got a pretty mean multi-bite when he's actively pissed. And yeah, he gets very mean, and then he, there's times where I picked him up and he's okay, but it's not for long because eventually he'll start growling, which is immediately you need to put him down or he'll bite you. But very rare cases, as he, generally speaking, I don't really have the more discipline and whatever. My dad was very more stern with Bo, and he would be like, he would hit him, or if he act up, he would do a lot of the pickup if he had to. My brother did that the other day because I'm a klutz and I kept accidentally dropping medication for my mom, and we had a horror deal where we had to grab like 6 pills off the floor. But he picked him up immediately, put him in the cage. Other than that, he barely gets picked up. I picked him up once to put him on my bed the same day he bit me, which is why I thought he would be okay with it. Because he clearly wanted to be on my bed, and he let me. He stood up on his back legs and everything. The second time I tried to pick him up, dude. No. He loves belly rubs, but he also growls when you try to go for it. And he's very protective of his food, like we're gonna eat it or whatever the fuck. He's spoiled. My dad tried to raise him better, but my mom undid it. He knows, like, sit, and he's got some table manners to a degree. There's times where he will get very like, oh, you're eating, I want it. My mom feeds him whatever the fuck. My other dogs were much worse. Spoiled and even got, like, my mom's known for overfeeding pets. I've had a obese cat and a fat dog that wasn't, like, I don't know if it was its size, same breed. I had another dog that passed away. Wasn't eating fat, but I had a cat who was overweight and died to. Besides that, oh crap! I forgot how it went. My something. My cat definitely didn't die of old age. Licked mothballs is the last I remember, and then I guess my parents told me they died of something else. I thought it originally got sick. But no, my mom's known for over and babying dogs, so she kind of undid whatever sort of discipline I had if my dad were still here, and or if my mom just wasn't the typical mom who babies pets because they're adorable and cute. I mean, my cat was 20. My cat was like 20-something pounds. Thing was huge. Cute though. Loved that cat. Fluffy. Like that thing can take. We had two other dogs that were the same breed as Bo that literally would like play with the cat, and he wouldn't be able to feel any of their like play bites at all. And he kind of just was too fat to do anything about it, so it would just roll around and exist. The dogs would just fuck with it. The cat didn't give a fuck because I couldn't hit it. Then they got bored of it. Typical. Fat cat. Laid on the table all day, pretty much. Prez even got on the table. If my cat Fluffy was alive, yeah, he'd definitely love you. Cuddle it. My dogs, the last 3 dogs I've had, including Bo, or the last prior 2 dogs plus Bo, never wanted to be. Too much. And then my one dog, Cody, was so mean that it literally, like, hated anybody that was new. It didn't even scratch my nephew years ago. Not fun. So, like, yeah, anxiety and whatever other problems and babying from my mom is not helping. My dog does take a while to get warmed up to new people. But if he sees you enough and knows you enough, like myself, my mom, my brother, my dad, or whoever, he gets very attached. He loves my main family a lot. Including my niece. The extent of all he's met, really. Met my uncle now, and my aunt. He like doesn't know them. But trust me, if you which you're not, because I'm back in Illinois, but if you were to ever have met Bo, he would not like you. Because you're new. For instance, if he meets Irving ever, or whoever, and I hate them. He has to see them enough and know that they're gonna not be harm to him or the family in it. But for a little guy, he has a hard bite. Yeah, try. Same with Tiffany. If you were to meet her, it'd take time. He would have to see for a few days, maybe. As long as he's fed and petted and loved, he's gonna love you. I swallowed. I don't know if I took a swig of that hydrate, so the water was full. Coffee I just drink with. Forgot the line. I forgot the full line in it. Freezes finds a paper with a butt, picture of a butt on it. Looks like a paper with a picture of a butt. I see it, Lord Freeze. Dragon Balls now. A bridge. Hey, I see it, Lord Freeze. I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of capture. I honestly don't know how this specific one works. Just seems like a basic one. I'm sure it'll get by, and it seems like I'm assuming that says 4K. Ultra HD for 25 bucks. I don't really know how great that actually. Yeah, it is. I mean, that's what I output. 1080p, but I have HD60X that can do 4K, and I don't have the or whatever. I just feel like it's pointless. Output something I can't even see. Plus, I don't know how well on Twitch that really matters. 1080p is still a decent standard at this point. That's still clear. I mean, yes, it is a start, but I'm just saying I started with a Roxio, which is a way worse version of Elgato, which still had the red, white, and yellow cables for, you know, whatever, and it recorded back in 480 and whatnot. So that was more money. I'm just saying. This has a greater output of what I started with. Yes, it's a start, but is it good is a difference. I know nothing on that. Setting up an entire setup with OBS is not the easiest thing sometimes if you know nothing on it. I'm sure it's a plugin, more of a plugin than Elgato, which is a plugin capture card rather than an installment for computer. There's a internal input. I honestly just don't see this being that great, but it is a start, I guess. I mean, I could be wrong. It could be better than Elgato. Don't trust the capture card. Porygon 2, that saves you. Now you just need the other one. Upgrade and dubious disc. Now you just need Porygon Z. Exposure polygon. Everything. No, Pussy's right. Mew's not a dog. Heavy bit. Bastard, he's not also. Not a, not born out of wedlock. Nor is he a bit. Also, that would imply Mew as a gender, because Bastard... male, isn't it? I guess Bastard Child sounds more of a male. Either way, he's not a born out of wedlock. He's not a bastard either. Gray bitch. Gray? This is the gray dog queen. No. Because he... I guess? I mean, Arceus is the technical god of Pokemon World, so... I guess? I don't really know how anything on the... Mew is also like the ancestor of all Pokemon, but Arceus is the god of everything. Mew just has every DNA of every Pokemon, and can transform into anything that it sees, and use any move. Hence the Ditto doing the same thing with freaking Transform, just because he's cloned of Mew. Failed clones of Mew, hence then Mewtwo is the real... Still a failure in terms of not listening to Team Rocket, but also that's why Dittos exist. Fun fact, the closer you get in Cinnabar Island, on Cinnabar Labs, the closer you get to where Mewtwo was created, the exact floor, the more Dittos, the higher the Ditto odds appear. And it's just... wow, that makes sense. And they share the same color scheme, shiny and non-shiny, as Mew. Another nice nod. Or other, like, other god, Arceus. Assuming that these Pokemon games are set in one universe, I would assume there's probably multiverses. There is multiversal timelines. The original games I'm playing right now don't have Mega Evolution. X and Y started the whole thing. The original, like, Legend ZA is set in the X and Y region. When long story short, there was a guy that is 3,000 years old, and he made a weapon, which leads into ZA's endgame. There's another, the whole thing that I fought that caused the Rogue Mega Evolutions was a design the guy made as the giant fucker that's 3,000 years old. Basically, he made two weapons. In the first one, in X and Y, he fired off in the backstory, and it created the Mega Stones. Which, there was an eventual timeline split. I'm not sure if it was from that or in general, but there was a timeline split, so if you play Oris, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, there's that timeline with Mega Stones. And then... stuff like that. So, and then, like, I'm not sure if Let's Go Eevee and Pikachu is a different version of the same events from a different timeline's perspective. It would have to be, because technically Red and Blue both are in the games. And you are not Red in the remake in Let's Go at all. So that right there, to me, feels like a different timeline. Because Blue is shown, he does talk to you. And he does mention him being the grandson of Oak and everything. So, I mean, like, similar events. It's kind of like Dragon Ball. With Trunks, sort of. But yes, there is multiple, like, timelines or whatever. I'm not sure about civilizations or anything like that, but... the closest thing, the furthest back we've seen is Arceus, where your character from Diamond and Pearl, modern Diamond and Pearl, is ripped from that time era by Arceus and brings to the past. That is the furthest we've gotten in past. But, no, I don't... technically, no. We're getting multiverse, not in terms of just different timeline of events. That, in a sense, right there is a different universe. Trunks is from a different... even though he's from a different time, he's technically from a different... He was from 9. I believe it was. Something like that. And then he's now in a different freaking version of he's also in another universe again because he's on a different Earth because his Earth was exploded. So future Trunks is gone from his universe to a different one. Yeah. Horus and them are technically different universes. Just similar events with different things happening. And then whatever else, I guess. I don't really know all the But I just said they are. Just like how Dragon Balls is. That's all the same thing. Different galaxy and timeline in the universe. Wouldn't that be since they're separated universe, they would parallel whatever, it would still be a different galaxy for them. So technically, yes. So, okay, then what's different about Dragon Ball's different multiverses, Dragon? They're the same characters in those. I don't get where you're getting at. That's what... Wouldn't a different universe be a different galaxy? Even though it's the same characters? Because Dragon Ball is the same thing. Super's introduced multi-universes. And they all are generally the same. With minor changes. Like Universe 6, Saiyans survived and didn't go to war. They were peaceful. Their galaxy is a different galaxy because they're from a different universe, isn't it not? Yeah, I guess, because, to be honest, I'm also stupid. Whatever. Again, I treat a lot of things the same. If that's not the same, then I don't know what I'm even talking about with Dragon Ball at all, then. Okay. I just consider that the galaxy they're from part of the whole thing. They're like, again, I'm not very bright because I just label everything is the same to me. Like, regardless of where they are, they're in like the galaxy is all one thing to me. Like, how would I know these things? The hell? Also, Ash is anime only. He's not even part of the Pokemon at all. I don't even fucking... We're talking the games here. There is no Ash. And that, to me, Pokemon anime is not anything to do with the games at all in terms of connectivity, or if you want to consider it like a different thing at all. It's just anime. It's filler. It's nothing. I don't... But yes, to answer your question, I just answered, I said multiple times, yes. Just like with Dragon Ball, multi-universes, they're all, like, regardless of, technically they're in the same galaxy, yes, they're in a different galaxy because it's a different universe. That is how I see it. It's different time of events, different parallel timelines. It's still a different universe to me, or galaxy in that sense. I don't really know and don't really care. I'm stupid, I know. I don't really pay attention to a lot of that stuff in Dragon Ball either. If they don't outright say it or whatever, I don't really know a lot of crap. There's a lot in Dragon Ball that I don't know and pay attention to that other YouTubers will tell you literally fucking everything on. All that matters to me is just the general gist of the stories. A lot of your shit I've just learned through other people or online myself. But yes, different universe to me is a different galaxy, regardless if it's all on Earth. Probably louder than it. Game and alert audio are around halfway. I have the bar over halfway, but the meter, once it actually is used, whatever audio is detected, halfway, which is a pretty good level for that, without being too loud, versus my mic, which is basically in the high yellow OBS. Any louder and it either breaks or I'm too loud. The game audio gets any louder, it overpowers me. So having it about halfway is close where without it being too loud, where you can hear it kind of on and off in the background. Alerts I try to have a little higher than that because both sounds are going at once. Certain sounds are louder than others or quieter than others, though I can't really keep up with all that. And that's also the problem when you hear when everyone's audio is going off in the background. Yours, Wolf's, and Irving's happening because there's certain times your TV does all change because of the shit you're doing, playing, watching, whatever. I'm like, it's never anyone's at fault because you guys hear your TV at your pace versus it going through an audio, so all your audio, all through my audio, and it's coming all through me. So it's louder through that end, and then if you're listening through Discord, it's because you're listening through it all through that mix, that coming through that source, and it picks it up louder, and it makes it louder because you have the person turned up. So any of your audios technically are not bad on their own, only because it's hearable through mostly Discord, and then it comes through to my end because I have Discord going to my end. That means it blasts then. Otherwise, you guys would be fine. So, like, that's why I always try to tell you that no, it's never really your fault. It's technically all coming through mine and Discord. Like, it would be the same if I actually had my TV blasting without, because it's the only because it's connected to my computer through this setup. That's why otherwise you would hear my TV the same way. You guys don't have a setup like mine, that's why. If you did, your audio would be fine. Only worse because it actually just is coming into a program from somewhere else. Not the audio source. That's the issue. So that's why I've always tried to get you to stop, or him, or you to stop complaining about anyone's audio. Whatever. And then him, I don't want to deal with that, that's why. Him hearing you complain just trigger worse things. So, next time, if any conversation's happening, don't mention audio at all. Stop that. Because hearing it multiple days in a row, I was like, Dragon, you really need to stop. Because yes, he is going to get pissed. And then I even stopped, because he was getting upset with me. But yes, with Wolf's audio is actually kind of worse. Because it's constant. It's just not loud. Just tired. Hearing her freakouts to rings is fun, but like the sound effects of her game is actually more annoying to me. Irving I'm used to in general. Like I got used to his background. Fine. I just don't want to ever hit. You guys need to stop fighting in general. That's going to be the end of this conversation. Meaning I'm not bringing it. Okay. And next time I hear Wolf, I'll tell her to try to get her audio go. Because I have to flip-flop between... I'm just tired of flip-flopping. Even if the audio was not bad, I'm just tired of having to mix all this around and keep it without blasting Twitch's ears out. That's only because, again, it's coming through my end. Otherwise, no, neither of you guys or hers is actually a problem. I'm just letting y'all know, for whoever I talk to, no one's background audio is an issue. Only because it comes to me. And in my mix, it makes things sound worse because I have everyone turned up. Just to hear them. That's it. And that's, I don't want to, no one's to blame but myself, technically. Because I'm not, you guys can play your games, it's your house. I can't stop you, and I don't want to stop you. Don't hear anything in her background. I just said that her audio wasn't loud, I just said her audio is more annoying and constant, it's not loud. In general, it's more further away. If she was closer to her TV, yes, then it would be. Or closer to her DS, or whatever. Irving's playing off an actual TV. Wolf's playing predominantly, I think, off of her handheld. Could be wrong on that front, but it's either that or it's closer. Plus, Irving's usually playing more competitively with shooter games and stuff like that, so they get louder. More action-paced. Wolf's, at most, Wolf was playing Sonic. Is the most active I've seen, but that's all you would hear. Just constant ring sound effects, constant hits. I found that more annoying after a long period. I'm fine with Irving's audio. Never had a problem. There's just times when it does spike, which is on my end. It hurts my ears, because I have him up. That's all. That's all I've ever tried to say to anyone, because no one, I was trying to be honest, no one's audio is an actual problem. I've only ever asked him to tone it down, just because I'm tired. It's hard to mix that and keep him good. I need to keep it higher for him to be heard. And there's no way I can look without, you know what I mean? Same with if your audio is the same, sometimes, Dragon. You do have background noise. I'm gonna be honest with you. So, again, I don't want to hear you complain about his when you do too have audio. I have long stopped talking about people's audios for this reason. I have not told Irving anything about his audio since. For a while now. Some time now. That's why I've never said anything about your audio. Because I'm tired of getting people pissed off. All I do is piss people off. The whole point of me saying this now is because I'm tired of getting you guys upset. Because I know I piss you all, you and Irving and whoever else off every other day or so. Or whatever, and annoy you. I know that because I'm the cause of all the all the bullshit, all the fighting, the shit with Zero and me, and everything. I don't really care what you guys think. I can freaking see it. It's my pissy attitude all the time. All because I'm trying to make my streams perfect. Have the best and whatever that I can. Yeah, well, not my problem. Because I'm stopping it. You guys are not gonna be bitching at each other anymore.